Howdy everyone, and welcome to another Lupen TV video. Today I want to talk about gearing characters in Dragonflight. In my last video I talked about kind of just alt management. Now the second part of that is actually looking at, okay, now how do I gear them? What should I be doing as I level? What should I be doing right when I get to level 70? What should I be doing post level 70? What should I be holding off on doing? So I wanted to kind of cover all of that in this video. So first off, before even getting to 70, I think one of the most common questions is leveling and how quick it is to level. What should I be doing? How I should be leveling? I've seen a couple different methods come through. The first one being the Cobalt Assembly, where you can go and either form a group or just tag mobs. It can be very dangerous, but it gives you a lot of XP. That I would recommend if you're okay doing that. It can be a little mind-numbing, but it is very quick. The other is just honestly questing, and questing specifically with side quests. The campaign, while very good, does not net quite a bit of XP as you progress. There's a lot of RP and downtime that happens that compared to just like targeting quests and focusing on those is a lot better. And lastly is just dungeons. You could just literally spam dungeons depending on like if you're a tank or healer, you can get quick queues. Honestly, DPS doesn't take that long either. But pre-level 70, the one thing I really want to point out is doing world quests. So things like the dragon riding world quests, or things that just offer you reputation, those are totally fine to complete before you get to level 70. And they offer a fairly decent amount of experience as well. The bonus objectives that you do see on your map, and if you can kind of overlap them maybe with like a world quest, and if it's even spicier, you can go like with the side quest too, which does sometimes happen. I know there's one in the plains that can spawn, so you can get like the bonus objective, side quest, and the world quest going. Is just the sweet spot, honestly. And then lastly too is dungeon quests. As you progress through the campaign, some dungeon quests open, other times you can just pick them up. Turning in those dungeon quests later, closer to like 68, 69, is going to net you the most experience, because they give you a certain percentage of experience, not a set number of experience, if that makes sense. So you get level 70, what should you look to do? One of the first things I recommend doing is going and doing the Gauntlet quest that is over in the Onaran Plains. That will actually open up the world quest for you too, but that will give you it's like a 300-ish, somewhere a little bit above that weapon, which is a great first start. Next is crafted gear, and I'm not talking about the crafted gear used with your sparks. I'm actually talking about like the 343 crafted gear that you can get on the auction house. That is a great first way. Usually it's a decent price too. It doesn't need to be perfectly statted. I'll just say that now too, so don't spend 4 times the amount of gold on some perfectly statted item that you're going to replace in a few days anyways. And then world boss. You should be doing the world boss honestly right away. That is a flat eye level gear that will give that to you if you're lucky enough to get a piece, and you should knock that out immediately. Same with M0s. M0s are a flat amount too from a gear and eye level perspective, so feel free to just knock those out if you feel up to it. You can usually get 372 pieces, or at least a couple. If you want to do some sort of like leather, mail, plate stack, cloth stack, also even better. And then the last thing I'll mention is just the actual crafted gear that uses the sparks. Side note with the sparks too, the sparks quests actually give you a ton of XP as well. So when you're leveling, if you want to wait till level 69, just do all of the spark quests that are available. They give like 10-12,000 experience per quest, which is pretty insane, and they do not take long, especially because it ports you back to Valdrakken. But what I mean by crafted gear is the crafted gear with your sparks that if you have enough primal chaos, will bump your eye level up further. And we'll talk about why that's important in a second, but really that I would say is the things to do as soon as you hit level 70, because all of the things that I just said there, the eye level stays the same regardless of what your base overall eye level is. Now kind of post level, dinging level 70 tasks. Further than that is the aiding the Accord quest, which is the weekly quest that does scale off your eye level. I believe it is like kind of soft capped around like giving you 380 to 385 pieces of loot. I haven't seen any like 390 plus on any of my characters. The Trial of Water, which is in the Onaran Plains, and the Trial of Elements, which is in the Primalist Future, both give you eye level gear based off of your current eye level, with once again there is that soft cap built into it too. The Community Feast gives you, once again, same level, same kind of deal, eye level gear based off of your current eye level. And then really the super rares, which in my last video I talked about that Tama's Dragonflight Helper, that outlines where those are at. Those scale off of your eye level. So Keep that in mind when you're doing that, along with Dragonbane Keep. Does the same exact thing as I mentioned. And then World Quests. World Quests are a little bit different though, and I kind of was testing this last night on my monk, but World Quests seem to offer a certain eye level gear based off of like certain mile markers you hit. So for instance, my monk like dinged 70. It was, you know, I think like 290, 300 eye level. I got some of this crafted gear we talked about, and then the World Quest gear went from offering like 323 or something like that to like 343. So it seems to be like certain thresholds you have to reach in order to get the World Quest eye levels to go up. They won't just naturally do it as you increase your base. There is some sort of internal threshold you need to meet in order to kind of reach that next milestone. So all of those things I just mentioned are kind of things that you really should do if you're trying to optimize 100% until after you do the kind of at level 70 tasks I mentioned. Now the only caveat with this entire section is depending on how close we are to reset. So if we are, for instance, when I'm recording this video, it's on Sunday, just under 2 days from reset, I really wouldn't care about the aiding the accord, the community feast, the rares, Dragonbane Keeps. If you can get those done, just get those done before reset, because they're all going to reset anyways. And it's better to just get something out of it than nothing. And maybe that gear you get is enough to bump some world quests up, or something like that. And then lastly, worth mentioning, or at least an honorable mention, is PvP. PvP gear is very easy to get. If you plan on PvPing, I would honestly recommend going to the auction house and buying the crafted gear. It is very low base PvE eye level. I think it's like 323 or something like that, but it scales up to 398, which is incredibly helpful to have if you can grab that and then you want to hop into some PvP, because otherwise you're just going to get steamrolled. Same goes with LFR. I didn't mention that on here either, but as soon as you can hit kind of that threshold to queue for LFR, definitely worth doing that too. For one, it gives you vault slots, and two, it's static eye level once again, so it's going to help boost all of those post level 70 tasks we talked about. So really, that's kind of like the checklist, if you will. I'll have it up on the screen so you can look. What you should do once you ding, and then kind of some like post level 70 tasks too, and then you can start the M plus grind, the normal heroic mythic grinds of raid. All of those things are definitely worth touching. But if you're trying to kind of optimize, I would follow all the tasks that I put up on the screen, and go from there. So hopefully you find this helpful. These are some just kind of my thoughts, ideas that I put together as I've leveled just a couple characters to 70 at this point. And any other ones that I think of, I'll definitely add some notes in the comment section below, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Bye.